Hey guys, this is Reverend Sean over at the Center Path, and today we're going to go over something we just finished in meditation, which is some of the hindrances. And the hindrances are things that can slow you down on the path. Remember, there's 5 of them. This is number 5 of 5. This is doubt. Now, doubt is something that is completely natural and really actually one of the more useful hindrances if you approach it properly. Now, in meditation and in your practice and in life in general, we have a lot of doubts. Am I doing this right? Am I on the right path? Am I smart enough? You know, there's a lot of doubts that come up in our mind. Is my teacher good? Is my teacher, not good? Is this teaching not good? And in the process of learning, this is a normal thing, and it's a very healthy thing, actually. Some people who, many cultish kind of groups, will try to get rid of doubt by putting it back on you, the doubter, and say, well, that's because you're not practicing hard enough, or they give you some kind of guilt trip, or just bring other people in and say, see, I was able to do it. Now, but that's a different locus of control. Remember, our locus of control for all of these things is internal. It's our own locus of control. We want to make sure that we're the ones in control of our mind. So in the process of meditation, we start to see things as they are, right? Remember, we're going to sit to become still, still to become calm, calm to be able to see to understand to develop wisdom, right? That's what we're going to be doing. We have to develop wisdom and understand that when we doubt something, when we're not sure of our own path, to recognize that. Okay, one, recognize this. And this is going to be with any kind of emotional component with meditation and mindfulness, if you will, is going to be notice what it is without giving it a charge first, and no judgment on it. Don't beat yourself up about it. In this meditative process, we just want to see, I'm really doubting that. Therefore, what can you do next? Well, you need to research it. You need to have the experience. This goes back actually to, in the Buddha's time, doubt was a fundamental thing that people came up to him with. And he would generally speak to people and get rid of their doubt, because he was very, very good at reading individuals and what they were actually saying. He was very precise in his words. This is important. He was very precise in his answers. And sometimes, if you notice, if you read in through the things, there are some things where he doesn't answer at all. They're called the unanswerables. And those things, people, want to force doubt through you or on you, and they'll ask questions and make you doubt even more. And they'll say things like, well, then if you're so smart and you're doing this new religious thing, being a Buddhist, where did the world start, or how is it going to end, or something like that. And these were the imponderables or the unanswerables. And the Buddha, when posed with those, didn't even answer, because they're not part of this. Now remember, part of this process of following this path of being a Buddhist is to actually better your own life. You're trying to reduce suffering for yourself and the entire world. You're also in the process trying to realize your interconnectedness and that interdependence of you and the rest of the world, right? So we're trying to get this like interdependent idea so that we realize we're part of things and not separate from stuff. Alan Watts does some really good ones, and he talks about how like your body doesn't even end with your skin, because there's the atmosphere that connects you and light and all of these different things. So we're actually part of the universe. The universe is you experiencing itself through your senses. And we realize that in Buddhism, it is actually kind of a realization that you can come to. Now, the Buddha himself had a lot of people who doubted him. There's actually one entire sutra based on this, where he talks about the advice to the Kalamas. So the Kalama, or it's either the Sutra to the Kalama people or the Kalama Sutra, one of those two things. And I'll put a link down below, I think, for that. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's totally free and everything. So yeah, if you want to get more information like this, we're going to keep going on. This is part of our what's it called? Our cheat sheet, right? That we did. We did a big cheat sheet. It's a 2-page thing of the basics of Buddhist training, the basics of Buddhist thought, the real basics of someone who's at home doing this kind of practice for themselves. And we're not getting into the esoteric things. We're not getting into a lot of pujas and offerings and these kind of things. Although we do touch on that, there's an importance for those, but not for you necessarily all the time. So take it for what it's worth. Go through and look at the other videos. I'll put the other ones right up here over time. In this video, I guess we'll have to do the previous one, which is the other hindrances. There's 5 hindrances total. So we did this one. Restlessness was just before this. And when we have doubt, what do we do with it? Well, first, we have to realize that it is doubt. Is it founded or unfounded? Okay, we're going to say, it's founded doubt because of, and you start filling in the blanks without being emotional, without being judgmental, and without being just like hair triggered, we should say. And we want to actually sit with that doubt and see where it's coming from and see where it is and where it may go. Now, we have to have the experiential portion of this and really get into understanding where that doubt comes from. Now, if it's about your teacher, then start looking up them. If it's about one of the sutras, start reading different accounts of it and different translations, because some of the older translations, especially, which were done by, may have been done by the English or early America, early, I'm talking like 60s and 70s and 1980s. That's kind of early. Now, there's much better understanding of those words and the way the words worked. Now, if you go back to some Pali dictionary stuff, it's very, very technical, and it's good to be that way, but we also have to understand it for ourselves. Now, in the advice to the Kalamas, which the Buddha had gone to a place called the Kalama area, and this group of people had many of these Brahmins and sadhus and mahasiddhas and all these guys show up and say, I've got the answer. I'm the only way. Follow me and you'll get enlightenment and savior, and I'm the one and everybody else is not. And so the Buddha actually stopped them and said, well, actually, don't listen to me. Don't listen to it because it's tradition. Don't listen to it because it's been written down. Don't listen to it because this great priest said so. Don't listen to it because of the clothes that the person wears, or doesn't wear, I suppose, in those days. Like what the person wears or how their hair is or what they look like. Don't believe just that. Don't believe in hearsay, so someone else tells you. Don't believe in tradition. It's something we've always done, right? Don't believe it because it's the common thing, okay, which is very typical these days. Don't believe it because you have a little bit of information. Now, this is healthy doubt. This is what we need right now, actually. If you start looking at like all of these atrocities that are happening, we tend to see a 4-second clip of an issue and don't see everything that led up to it and everything after it. That makes a big difference. Or you may see a statement on a certain, let's say, for example, the current situation, a medicine that is purported to help. Now, some people, it doesn't cure, it doesn't do that. Well, now you got to, the onus is on you to figure it out yourself. Now you have your own brain, you got to learn to think, you have to learn to start looking things up. Now, this is a very, very healthy thing to do, because when you start looking things up, then you can have an informed opinion, and you can actually have a better opinion and erase the doubt in your head. In meditation, it's all about practice. If you're doubting if it's going to work, actually keep going. Keep doubting. Just sit with it. Now, as a Chan practitioner or a Zen practitioner, or whatever you want to call that, we sit with it. And if it comes up that that's a big problem, your teacher, your advisor, or whatever you want to call them, your guru, is going to tell you, go back and sit. Go back and sit more. So with doubt, go back and sit. That's what it's going to be. Thank you for staying with me on the path. We're here in the center path. We're not too far this way, not too far that way. And we're just making it one step at a time. So if you're enjoying this, please go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment or a question, and I'll make sure to answer those. I've got a lot more coming. This is a big process. There's a lot going on that I've been working on. So I'm going to try and keep these a little bit more updated. So anyway, this is Reverend Sean over at the Center Path, and I hope you guys are well, and don't doubt that. Okay, take care.